EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Crescent City of New Orleans and the Caesars Superdome, the home of the Saints. Good to be with you. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson here in the booth. Greg, we got a couple of teams who love to throw the football. And you know how guys say, hey, we're not going against the other offense. We're going against the other team's defense. Greg, these star wide receivers, you know they're watching what the other guy does on the field here today.
Oh, in their minds, there's no question. They are competing against one another, and I think that's what makes this league so fun is when these guys, they know each other, they study each other, they work together in the off seasons. A lot of times they're friends. And come game day, there is no question. At the end of this one, yes, they want their teams to win, but when they put their two box scores up next to each other, there's going to be some bragging rights come this offseason.
The kicker, Chase McLaughlin, will get this one started. And off we go from the Superdome. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. So the Saints ready to go to work on offense for the first time. They're led out by their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Louisville.
There's a lot to like about this young quarterback, and of course we're going to have to wait and see. Can he take advantage of this opportunity in front of him, Mike? But he has not been shy. He says, I know I can play at this level. I know that I can lead an NFL franchise, and we're going to get a shot to see it here, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll throw to get things going. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. That's complete. It is Foster Moreau. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
Here's a 2nd and 9. The tight end Moreau is in motion. Nowhere to go. He is taken down.
And I like the idea of moving the pocket. It makes it harder for the defense to rush the passer, but you have to account for the end man on the line of scrimmage, and that guy's job is to set an edge. Nobody gets outside of me. In this case, the quarterback. You've got to be better protecting your edges anytime you put your quarterback on the move.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Shaheed with the catch. He got a lot of what he needed, but just not enough. The mark is a couple of yards shy of the 1st down, and here comes 4th down.
When you're willing to throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, you know what that tells me, Mike? The decision to go for it on 4th down has already been made. If you're able to pick it up with yards after the catch, great. But if not, it's a 4th and short, and you give yourself a realistic shot of converting on this 4th down.
So the Tampa Bay offense set to work for the first time in this one. And they're led by the #1 overall pick back in 2018. Greg, it is Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
Yeah, you have to feel good, Mike, seeing Baker Mayfield back established as a franchise NFL quarterback. He had such a tough journey these last couple years, bouncing around multiple spots around the league. And then last year, down in Tampa, he has a chance to get them to the NFC Championship game just a few plays away. He continues to play up to his potential. This team's going to be tough to beat.
Right to the air. It's Mayfield. Get this complete right side to Otten. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable second down.
2nd and 7. They run with the Oregon man. It's Bucky Irving. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mayfield. That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it. It'll be a pickup of 10. It's a first down for Tampa Bay.
These third down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on third down.
Here's 1st and 10. Here comes Otten in motion. Baker is going to give it to Irving. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down. Right back to Irving. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down. They'll put a receiver in motion right. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. He dives, and what a catch for the first down. 13 yards on that one. Move the sticks. It's a first down.
You just love to see this effort, especially on third down. You understand, you want to keep this possession alive. You have to do everything in your power sometimes to bail out your quarterback, and it's exactly what he does here, and it brings up a fresh set of downs.
And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line.
It's like a textbook, methodical, efficient NFL drive. 4 for 4 throwing the ball, mixing in some run. You're just marching the ball downfield at your will, and they get a fresh set of downs now to see if they can convert this nice drive into some points. Mayfield
to throw on 1st and 10. Quickly to the outside and complete. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
And if he's late with that throw, Mike, there's a really good chance a defender could have made a play on it. But he does a beautiful job. He puts the ball out in front of his shoulder, leads the receiver, and allows him to get upfield and pick up the first down.
On 1st down is Mayfield. Left side to Godwin. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early.
To the goal line and in. Mike Evans. Touchdown, Tampa.
And that was just a great drive, really from start to finish, Mike. You could see the play caller just really finding his rhythm, mix in run, mix in pass. Results in the touchdown pass, but really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection. When you can sustain the drives like that and come away with touchdowns, man, that goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
On is Chase McLaughlin for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Buccaneers will take a 7-0 lead. Here's McLaughlin now. After the score, he'll kick this one away. This taken at the 5. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The Saints offense ready now for their second drive. They were forced to punt the first time through. It led to a touchdown, so down 7-0 as they get the ball back for 1st and 10. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Olave is the motion man. On 1st down, they'll start out with Kamara. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5.
When they called that sweep, Mike, obviously they're thinking, let's pick up the 1st down. They didn't quite get to the chains, but I think they're going to be pretty happy with that gain.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Slot man in motion left. They're going to go right back to Kamara. He'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Depending on the situation or the down and distance, Mike, the linebackers have different reads. Sometimes they read the offensive lineman. Sometimes they read the running back. In this case, his read brings him right to the play. He's able to make a big stop and keep the gain to nothing.
They'll throw here on 3rd and short. And this drive is over before it can start. He's swallowed up to force 4th down.
Really nice start for this defense here early through the 1st quarter. 2 different players each recording a sack. Offensive line's going to have to get together on the sideline with their coach and identify where's the weakness in our protection. How can we get extra bodies and extra attention? Because we still got a long way to go in this one.
Here's their punter now. And he's on to punt for the 2nd time in this opening quarter. The fair catch here. Called for and made beyond the 30-yard line. The Bucs offense ready to take over for their 2nd possession. They lead 7-0 thanks to the touchdown on the opening drive. So try to double up here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Here comes Otten in motion. Mayfield to throw it here on 1st down. This one caught left side by Evans. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
We talk so much about starting fast and then trying to sustain that throughout the course of the game. That's exactly what they're doing here. They've got the early lead, but they're not content to just sit on the ball. They're looking to extend it. Nice start here to this drive. Once they cross midfield, then it goes into go mode. You're trying to come away with points every single time you have the ball. It's a good way to start this game here in the 1st quarter.
And they're going to bring him down, but there is a penalty marker on the field. They send Godwin in motion. Mayfield to throw. That's over the middle of the tight end, Otten. Well, they'll get the penalty yardage back here. Pickup of 10, and it will be 2nd and 10. Throwing is Baker. Laying out, and he made the catch. What a play. It's been a busy first quarter for him so far. His third catch goes for a first down.
And that's what you call being fearless, going over the middle. That's not everybody's cup of tea in this league, Mike. Some guys love to operate outside the numbers, and some guys understand their role is in the middle of the field. And not only to make that catch, but to do it laying out. That's a big-time play to secure that one.
And they will take him down at the 20-yard line.
This is already a little better than the first time they had the ball, Mike. Remember, opening possession, 3 and out. Showing some signs of life here now. Nice pick up there by the back to pick up the first down.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Mayfield. Over the middle, that's Godwin. And he's in! Chris Godwin. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Really nice job there by the receiver, understanding what to do after you secure the catch and the ability to target him in the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. If you can hit them in stride and be accurate with the ball, there is a lot of green grass to pick up yards after the catch, and he's able to take this one all the way into the end zone for 6.
1 quarter in the books. The Bucs have the early lead. More from New Orleans after this. Here's McLaughlin now after the score. He'll kick this one away. Here comes the all-pro returner from last year, Rashid Shaheed. Now out comes the New Orleans offense. They're ready to take over once again. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0. The score as the offense tries to regroup and get going with 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. That'll be caught. It's Alvin Kamara. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. His pass taken in by Shaheed. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass. Get past the first down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can draw up all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw yet again. He'll tuck it and take off.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. A little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
Second down and 3. Shaheed in motion. On second down, here's a run with Kamara. And he moves down to the 25. That's good enough for a first down.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a third down and short. But there's no need for third down. He was able to get enough on second, and they get a fresh set of downs.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. Back to throw. That's going to be pulled in by Kamara. And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
We tend to make NFL offense very complicated, Mike, but sometimes it's as simple as this. Get the ball into the hands of your playmakers and just let them do the rest.
Here's second and 2. The tight end Moreau is in motion. Quick throw here is complete. And the Saints are going to have a first and goal coming up. They try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's first and goal.
He's got it at the 3. And he's going to be down close to the goal line. Good job defensively to make sure he did not get to the end zone. From the 2 now, here's second and goal. Back to the air one more time. He puts it up, and it's caught. Chris Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. Blake Groupie comes on for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Saints are on the board. It's now 14-7. After the touchdown, it's Groupie to kick this one away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs ready to get back to work. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with first and 10. Here comes Otten in motion. On first and 10, here's Baker. Quick throw, taken in. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
Baker to throw. Get this complete right side to Otten. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll come up now for second down and 4. They send Evans in motion. Second down throw for Mayfield. Godwin working the right side. And he'll be out of bounds, but after picking up the first down on a gain of 7. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. First and 10. Here comes Otten in motion. From the gun, it's Mayfield. That's caught left side by Otten. They hook up again, second time on this drive, and this one's good for 18 yards and a first down.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Mayfield to throw on first and 10.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
On second down, Baker. This one on target to Godwin. And a good job rallying to the football, holding just a gain of a yard and sets up third down. They send him right out of the slot. From the gun on third down, it's Mayfield. He'll try to run for it. And that's a veteran quarterback doing what veterans do. Don't take the extra hit. Got the first down, get down. The drive continues. It's a first down and a gain of 13. On the move at the 14-yard line, it's first and 10. They'll run with Irving. And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. I think he's going to lose a yard.
The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's second and 11. They send Godwin in motion. Throwing on second down, Mayfield. And a good job rallying to the football, holding just a gain of a yard and sets up third down.
I think the rest of those receivers in the huddle have all come to the realization that they might not be getting a target anytime soon, and frankly, I don't blame them. I mean, they're riding the hot hand, and rightfully so. Until this defense proves that they can stop him in the passing game, I expect the quarterback to just continue to go back to him time and time again.
That one, taken in. Mike Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. That's his second touchdown so far here in the first half. And that is number 2. Greg, he is off to some kind of start in this one. 2 quarters and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Mike, this is one of those situations where as a defensive coordinator, you've got to give your group an answer, because right now, they don't have one for this guy.
On comes McLaughlin to add the PAT. The kick is good. And the Buccaneers will take a 21-7 lead. Here's McLaughlin now. After the score, he'll kick this one away. This one taken at the 7. Oh, he's got room past the 30. They finally get him down, but he gets all the way up close to the 40-yard line. So Chris Olave and the rest of the Saints offense getting ready for their next possession. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. The tight end Moreau is in motion. Finding room across midfield. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. They'll go again here with Kamara. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Here's a 2nd and 6. It'll be a run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. Now this time they'll look to throw. Shaheed with the catch. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the 2nd quarter.
And he's going to be taken down.
Man, they're just running this 2-minute drill to complete perfection. It is such a point of emphasis of every offense, Mike. These end-of-half scenarios to come away stealing points make a big impact on the outcome of the game. And they're knocking on the door here, 1st and goal. And at the very least, got to come away with some points.
What an important sequence this is, trying to get one of those scores back before halftime in a great spot. 1st down and goal. That is caught by the tight end. DeJuan Johnson. Touchdown Saints. The tight end using the middle of the field. I got a tight end next to me who's caught 60 NFL touchdowns. Knows how to operate down in those spaces.
And that was my favorite place to operate, Mike. I always had this rule. The closer you got to the middle of the field, the worse they got at defending the pass. So that's where I wanted to work, and that's where this guy was working and leads himself to a touchdown.
Groupie able to add the extra point. The Saints draw closer here. It's 21-14. Still a little time. Final minute of this 1st half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. The Buccaneers offense and Baker Mayfield ready for their next possession. And he's had things all his way in the 1st half. Those numbers are sensational. He looks to add to them with another drive here. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. That's his tight end, Otten. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Mayfield to throw. Fires left sideline. That is complete. No touchdown, but they are close. Going to be 1st and goal. They've got it at the 3.
And after that explosive play, they have a chance to extend their lead even more, and they have had their way. The defense has had no answers for anything they've done in the passing game, and they don't find out a way to slow them down. They could be in for a long game.
Timeout here, Tampa Bay. That is their 2nd, as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this 1st half. Well, here's the chance to cap off a great half. They have it 1st and goal. He'll run with White. And he will power his way into the end zone. Rashad White. Touchdown, Tampa. A lot of big bodies down there, but at the end of the day, the one that mattered, the one with the ball, finds the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, once that back gets the ball, Mike, he's just looking for a little crack of daylight, and he's thinking, I'm going to run into it and just hope I come out the other side. And in this case, the other side's the end zone, and they get 6.
McLaughlin now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Bucs have doubled their advantage. It is now a 28-14 game. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the 1st half. And the kickoff's coming their way. On the return, it's Rashid Shaheed. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Saints offense and veteran Alvin Kamara set to take over once more. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Now they'll set up to throw. Here's a screen coming for Kamara. And he's going to have the 1st down as he gets out of bounds, and he stopped the clock as well.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
Catch made, right side. It's Johnson. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw again. This one is caught by Moreau. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Here comes Blake Groupie for this field goal try. This officially a 58-yard attempt. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. So, and apparently we'll forget about that for the moment and turn our attention to quarter number 3. Let's go. Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. On the return is Sean Tucker. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Buccaneers offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we show you some of the highlights, and there have been plenty to choose from. 3 touchdown passes and some other big-time throws as well. Certainly dialed in and on top of his game right throughout this one. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. Of the handoff, it's Irving. And he'll move this ahead for about 4 yards. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu from the secondary on the stop. Here's 2nd and 6. Now Mayfield. There's Evans. He's got it. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line.
Every quarterback's dream is, can I get the ball out of my hand as fast as possible and get it to a guy that can do the rest after the catch? And it seems like nowadays, throughout the entire league, the best offenses thrive in yards after the catch.
Mayfield to throw it here on 1st down.
I'm not sure what was the more difficult aspect of the play. Winning his route versus man coverage or catching this pass, because that quarterback, he put a little extra sauce on that one to get it there on time, and he's able to secure a really nice catch.
He'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Here comes Otten in motion. To throw is Mayfield. That's caught. It's Bucky Irving. They'll look to pick this up 3rd and a yard. Here's Irving. Trying to drive his way forward. I think he is short, and he is. That means 4th down coming up.
And what a play by the interior of this defensive line. There was nowhere to run. He's able to get in the backfield for a big stop, and it sets up 4th down.
And it's 4th down, so here comes Riley Dixon to punt. Rashid Shaheed back to return this one. And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. The Saints offense getting ready for their opening possession of this 2nd half. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. They'll motion their tight end, Johnson. They'll start this one on the ground with Kamara. And they'll be set up now. up past the 40 with that one.
Finding yourself down here, multiple scores in the second half. The defense is going to give you some friendly run looks. So don't be afraid to mix it in there. But if you're going to find yourself coming back from this deficit, you're going to have to do it primarily through the air with just a little bit of mix of the run.
Throwing now on first. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack, and we're going to see which team can establish a little bit more of this control as the game unfolds.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Now, faking the give. Now he'll run.
You know, Mike, nice job here by the quarterback, just understanding on these early downs, you just don't want to go backwards. So he's able to avoid the negative play, pick up a little bit, and mostly avoid the sack.
3rd and long. Back to throw. And he's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now their pass protection is breaking down and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
The Saints will punt this one away. This kick hangs up, and a fair catch will be taken beyond the 35-yard line. The Buccaneers offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Here comes Otten in motion. On 1st and 10, here's Baker. Gets this one into the hands of his receiver, Godwin. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. Slot man in motion right. A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. This one caught left side by Evans.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
Here comes Otten in motion. On 1st down is Mayfield. Oh, he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. And it's recovered by one of his teammates.
And I feel like we see this so often, Mike, especially with how good these receivers are after the catch. They're so eager to pick up that extra yardage. Sometimes they don't completely put the ball away, and with how good these defenders are at knocking it loose, pretty fortunate on that one. His teammate was there to prevent that from being a turnover.
Here comes Otten in motion. Off the RPO, this is out to Evans. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the 1st down.
We hear the term RPO so often, Mike, and it continues to kind of trickle its way into the NFL. But remember, it's a lot different in the NFL than it is in the college game, where it's a lot more prevalent. The lineman cannot go downfield, so that quarterback has to make a lot of really fast snapshot decisions or else it's going to lead to a penalty or him holding on to the ball too long. So it's something that teams want to implement, but maybe not quite to the level that we see in the college game. Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly second down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. A tight end in motion now. On 2nd down, Baker. Get this complete right side to Otten. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down. Third and a yard. A give. This is Irving. And right to the 25-yard line. That is enough for the first down. So they pick it up on the ground, and the drive keeps going.
Really just the same approach that an offense would take on a quarterback sneak, Mike. You don't necessarily have to spring them for a huge gain. Can you buy just enough space up front to pick up 1 yard? That's exactly what they did. Pick up the first down.
And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
He'll get this out to the left flat. And nice work there after the catch. He's a little short of the first down after a gain of 7. They'll come up to 3rd and 3. They send Godwin in motion. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
And up until this point, this has been an incredibly efficient game from this quarterback. I mean, it's hard to think here we are in the second half, and that's only his 2nd incomplete pass. So finally, the defense is able to do something to disrupt his timing and finally try to get him out of this groove.
McLaughlin's kick is good. And the Bucs will extend their 3rd quarter lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
McLaughlin hit the field goal a moment ago, and now he's back to kick this away. Shaheed now to return it. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. The Saints offense ready to take over once again. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast, and right now they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
Olave is the motion man. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This pass right side taken in by Cooks.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
He'll drop to throw. That's going to be pulled in by Kamara. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
And the tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line.
This is a guy who's been doing it at a high level, Mike, for a long time. Not too many running backs finding success in the NFL past the age of 30. That's usually when they kind of ride off into the sunset, but as always, there's the exception to every rule.
To the air now on 1st and 10. Over the middle, that's the tight end, Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 25-yard line. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Olave is the motion man. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. That's to the middle of the field and caught by Cooks. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. 2nd down and 3. They'll look to throw. He'll throw it left and has his running back. And the Saints are going to have a 1st and goal. He's taken down at about the 8.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive...
And he will score! Game on! Brandon Cooks! Touchdown, New Orleans. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
Groupie now for the extra point. He knocks it through, and the Saints will cut the deficit to 7. So, things a little more interesting now. Back to a 1-score game as they kick it away. On the return, here comes Tucker. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. The Bucs offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Here comes Otten in motion. Mayfield to throw on 1st and 10. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down. Throwing on second down, Mayfield. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a first down after a gain of 7.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
Here comes Otten in motion. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. That's caught left side by Otten. That's the second time they connect on this drive. This one good for 13 yards.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the fourth quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative. Just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
Mayfield. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And they'll pick up the first down, a gain of about 4.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allow the first down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the first down.
On first down, here's Irving. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. To throw is Mayfield. Quickly to the outside and complete. And that's a first down. It will be a gain of 8.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
Mayfield to throw it here on first down. Godwin working the right side. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
On second down, a run with Irving. Maybe a couple there. It's third down. They'll go again here with Irving. And he's going to be close to that first down. Looks like he made it past the yellow line. Yes, he did. It is indeed a first down.
Wow, a little change of play call here, and that's typically not what we see at this down and distance. That's typically a passing down, Mike, but they catch the defense off guard, keep the ball on the ground, and they're able to pick up enough for the first down.
On first and 10, here's Baker. Now, screen set up for Irving. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Bucky Irving. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the fourth quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
On comes McLaughlin to add the PAT. He's got it. And the Bucs will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. Here's McLaughlin now. After the score, he'll kick this one away. A return now from the 4. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The home team's offense getting set to get back to work. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. That's to the right side and incomplete. Chris Olave, the intended receiver. And that will lead to a 2nd down.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the fourth quarter, with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game. And they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball. And let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. Here's a 3rd down and 4. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw.
This has really been the story of this entire game, Mike. I mean, this pass rush has had the advantage over the offense pretty much from the jump. And they've already recorded a couple of sacks, a handful of close calls, and it's the pressure in the backfield is why this team finds themselves with the lead here late in this ballgame.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. Open man is Shaheed. That's complete. And he's going to have a Saints 1st down. That'll be a gain of 15 on 4th down.
Some teams just have a stronger appetite for being willing to go for 4th down tries, even on their side of the field, Mike, and we're seeing it so much more often. The days of just punting the ball back and forth and saying, hey, we're going to play good defense. Remember, the better your defense, that doesn't mean you should punt. The better your defense, the more chances you should take on offense.
And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. They'll look to throw yet again. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back. And the tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line.
And what really stands out about this drive is the ability of the quarterback to really spread the ball around to multiple targets. It puts so much pressure on the defense deciding who do they want to account for, because no matter who they try to take away, the quarterback's doing a nice job of finding the open man.
Open man, that's the veteran, Cooks. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
It's been tough sledding for this offense all day today, Mike, but especially here in the second half. So they are just in desperate need of a spark, just something to get their offense into a little bit of a rhythm if they want to have any chance to find themselves back into this game here late.
Work in the middle of the field, but that is incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because, think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Back to the air once more on second down. A toss out quickly here to Cooks. And nice work there after the catch. He's a little short of the first down after a gain of 7. They come to the line for this one. Third down, needing 3. Open man, left side. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. They've got all 3 timeouts left, but need to score quick. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. To the end zone there, but it is incomplete. Jamel Dean that time. All over him in coverage.
You just can't say enough about how hard it is to play cornerback in today's modern NFL, Mike. I mean, not only are these wide receivers better than ever, but the way the rules are written, you're really out there on an island with not a lot of options. Your technique has to be perfect. Your timing has to be perfect. It's exactly what we saw here, and he makes a great play on the ball.
And the Saints have got a 1st and goal. He's out of bounds at the 4-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 and just enough to move the chains. Now, 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again. And he'll take it on in. Rashid Shaheed. Touchdown, Saints.
Well, that was step 1. The offense did their job, get this thing back within 1 possession, so they're still alive. But now they've got to find a way to get a little bit of luck and find a way to get the ball back, and it's not going to be easy.
And now they'll go with the more popular of late analytics-driven decision, down 8, going for 2. That's pulled in, and they're able to tack on the 2-point conversion.
I know it sounds like I'm being biased, Mike, but I'm really not. Down here this close to the end zone, especially on 2-point tries, the size, the length, the athleticism, and matchups these tight ends can create, man, they are a tough handle, and it leads to 2 points.
After the touchdown, it's Groupie to kick this one away. He fields it at the 8. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Here's the Tampa Bay offense. They're going to take over once more. They work with a 6-point advantage as they start this drive on 1st and 10. They'll run it. It's Irvin. And this will be a Bucs 1st down as he gets this up to the 40-yard line. On the ground, it's Irvin. Saints going to use their 2nd timeout, and they'll get together prior to the 2nd down play. Baker gonna give it to Irving. And he'll get this ahead. Gain of about 4, and it leads to 3rd down. Right back to Irving. Irving's got a 1st down, still going. A big run. They finally get to him and bring him down.
Well, I'm not sure you're going to find a better example of just pure speed in the open field than that run right there. I mean, when he got past the first wave, you got the sense that he might just be able to outrun everybody on the field.
Ball down to the 16-yard line. And it's 1st and 10. The defense still with all 3 timeouts at their disposal as the quarterback's down to a knee. So, a win here for the visiting Bucs. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point.